Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus, I'm back again. You know, it can be hard for people who give up themselves and do everything they possibly can to do the best they can. And they do all right. You know, they have their struggles, ups and downs here and there. And some days you really feel good. Some days you can feel kind of low, but you know you'll be back. At least that's your hope. And you can go through that, and that serves a purpose for quite some time. But there comes a time when that is not enough. When is that not enough? I guess when you branch out beyond yourselves. See, let me put it to you this way. This is what I learned. I learned that the only way you can see some stuff that some other folks see is that you really have to walk in their shoes. Now, we live in America where we have capitalism, we got money. It takes money to do anything. All over the planet, it takes money to do anything. Now, people who can see, understand that money that we use in our systems today has no real value except what they say or what we accept. It's just paper. And eventually that paper is going to move out of the way and they'll go through some other obstacle which will do more damage to we the people and benefit those who program this stuff. So just so I can always be able to speak for people who ain't got nothing, I can do it because I ain't got nothing. Everything that's around me belongs to somebody else. I don't have nothing. I got kids who going through life just like everybody else. But the reason I don't have anything is because I chose not to play the game. But I chose not to play the game because there are so many other people that ain't got no choice. They just in it. So how could I speak for them? Uh, I can speak for them. Why? Because I'm in it. And so being in it, it opens up my eyes to see who you are. See what the system of democracy and capitalism really is. I can see it for what it is. It's the pain and suffering. I don't care how much you can talk about how wonderful it is. I don't care how much you think about how wonderful it is. On the other end, it's pain and suffering for people in every area of life. It's struggles. It's more struggles. I don't care how falutin you are. I don't care how many houses you got, how many mansions you got, how many basketball goals, and how many cars you got. I don't care how much money you got piled up. On the other end, there are people who don't have anything. And you know what? It wasn't meant to be that way. It was meant to be that none of us would have to worry or suffer for anything. It was designed to be that way. Each of us, and we don't share that because we've been ripped off. Now, let me say it again. We've been ripped off. People who ain't got nothing, been ripped off. No, don't start that lie talking about they lazy. Don't tell that lie talking about they are not intelligent enough to do this or that. They are capable of doing exactly what they came on this planet to do, and they can do it well. And if they lack any education on it, they could get that really easy. No, that's not the problem. The problem is the system have robbed God's system. Now I can't say God's system because it sounds. I'd rather say God's system because it works for everybody. I know doggone well. If I was my system, I'd be bigot. I probably want my kids to have more than your kids, just like you want your kids to have more than my kids. But see, God said we all His kids, and God said we all got what we want, and that satisfies us. That satisfies God. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, when I come in, I see people can't go to school. That pisses me off. When I see you can't fill up you got problems at your house you want to fix up, or you got problems on your car you want to fix up, or you got things that you want to do as far as your education, you got problems you can't do, that pisses me off. Yeah, it pisses me off. It pisses me off because the people been robbed and they can't see it. They can't see it. They can't see it. Now, for example, everybody that's not following Donald Trump. I heard somebody say that Donald is a couple of lawyers. Well, I think you heard the news. I saw him lifting up his finger thinking he got exonerated, but I heard New York said, hold it, the case still go right on. The investigation still go right on. 2 people left, ain't stopped nothing. So I don't know what that means. But all I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The entire planet population, every section got their own authority. They're sovereign nations. And that's great. And they are free to love God as God has given them to love God, as God has given us to love God. And there's no problems between the two. And anything we lack, other nations got, anything they like that we got, it's all. Now, I know that sounds kind of strange. That sounds like asking people to stop eating sugar. Well, all I'm going to end up by saying is this. If you want peace, prosperity, and freedom, and joy in your life, and the fulfillment of your dreams, you want your wants, your needs, and your desires met. You want to be sure that you're guaranteed without any doubt food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and that in abundance. And the resources necessary, you understand that they come from the giver of life, and that the talent, the skills that are required to cause the manifestation of that rest in each of us. Each of us got a gift that we engage in that process, and we create all the stuff that we create. That's God's way of making sure that all human beings on earth got what they need. That is God's way of making sure that you hear talk about cattle on 1,000 hills belong to God. What it basically means that all things belong to God. And God got all things designed that it works perfectly. And those that are led by the Spirit of God can see it, see through the darkness, and not to persecute the darkness, but to lead you out of the darkness. So I'm telling you, just what I got through telling you, ladies and gentlemen. The resources come from God. No human beings don't know oil. All the natural resources, all that stuff belong to God. They got their names on it based upon some stuff they came up with, a system. I'm not going to try to put it down. It is a system. And they got it designed to do exactly what they wanted to do. So that means it can change. What do you think they're trying to do over in Ukraine? They're trying to take over that government and do what they want to do. in the United States. They want to go back in the South and change the rules and regulations, go back and do stuff. See, those rules and regulations laws don't mean anything. They just mean what people want them to mean during any period in time. But there are some rules and regulations that don't change. When it comes down to the things I just mentioned, those things that come from God that you're designed to have naturally, it's just, peace and prosperity is just written into your being, just as the your blood and stuff and your organs in your body. It's they're just the same, and it's designed to be met. You shouldn't be struggling. Life should be fun. Your work should be your greatest joy. Every time you go to work is your greatest joy. Struggling, fussing and fighting, arguing about this, pissed off, getting guns, starting race wars. What the devil is we going on? Is there anybody that's standing up for God? And I'm not talking about just trying to join some old group. I'm talking about standing up for God. What does that mean? Standing up for what's right. What does that mean? Standing up for that which works for everybody. Gear your thinking toward that. Well, well, I'm gonna play this back. I might not post it because it seems like I got a little hot there.